Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Lich's Archives. Joining us for Inflict Heroics, episode 26. We're slowly starting to get up there. You guys just made it to level 6, right? Fantastic.
Yep.
Alright, so, last we left off, you guys were wrapping up your stuff here in Pond after having a couple of ups and a couple of downs. I don't want to say mostly downs, but there definitely was a couple of stumbles along the way. We almost had a few of you die. We got all the way up to exhaustion 2. We had arguments with wizards. We had problems with another group of adventurers that you guys did end up building bridges back together through the efforts of mostly Assy, who did not want to face this alone. But then in the end, you just used this group to cause a distraction, and following Kor's example, whether he's a mad genius or just extremely lucky, found his way inside. And then you guys said, well, if it worked for the kobold, why won't it work for us? Turns out that while you were going in, Arod stumbled into his father, Selim. Brief conversation there, and maybe that helped as well to just ease suspicions, and you guys found your way into Bolar's chamber. And that's when you guys attacked. Thought it might have been a difficult fight, especially with the exhaustion, but the necklace on his neck turned out to be a sentient crystal that has taken a keen interest in Kor, telling him that it kept them safe, and then asking again in the fight if he would return the favor. I don't mean to call you it, unless you're into that. That you would also keep it safe, and so it seemed like it turned a little bit on Bola, removing the fog cloud, and you guys managed to kill him. Assy, you also almost took your first life, but you had a moment of reflection and you pulled back. After this, some guards came through the door. You guys almost got caught. You used the invisibility orb given to you by Broderick in exchange for killing Bola, and then crept your way out of here under the cover of everything being on fire, as well as a fan being used to, well, not a fan, but some weird contraption to blow smoke into it, able to get you guys out underneath all of this panic. You had a conversation with Zap, where he apologized for a couple of misunderstandings there as well. And then
if you call that an
flew
apology.
off, telling you that if you want, you're always welcome in his shop. Then you had a quick little journey back in the cart towards Pond, and that is where we are rejoining. You guys are pulling up within this carriage in front of the Grumpy Hornet. It's probably about noon. I think you guys might have had to have taken a long rest, and that's why you leveled up within this carriage, because it is a long journey. So you guys will be, away from Weary Traveler for the sake of this. You can remove your points of exhaustion. You can take your spell points back, spell slots back, and you're going to be fully prepared as you arrive once again in the town of Pond. So, as you pull up, Dormont kind of gets out. He opens the door for you guys inside and looks up at you, Her, and he goes, well, it's been fun, but, I guess this is goodbye.
Or you don't want to join us for a drink?
Well,
I'm buying.
I can't really say no to a drink.
It's on me.
Definitely nice to be back in some sort of civilization.
Well,
that camp was a little rough. I'm still not quite certain what his plan was regarding all those people. Like, if it was just an army of, basically, if it was just like a militia, that'd be fine. But there are women and children. I don't understand what the point was. Do you have an idea, Arod? Why? Was he a kindred spirit?
Not at all.
Then
His mind is beyond me. And it's on my blade now.
no doubt. Remind me not to get on your bad side. I've already tasted your bow.
Yeah, we all did good. I'm glad we all came together on this.
Didn't you clean your blade off?
Mostly.
Oh no.
I think it was.
You gotta
I think
clean that. That's like really bad for the metal.
I think it's more metaphorical.
Oh.
I wonder
Dormont,
if my dad made it out.
I think it's probably best if you don't think about it too much.
We should probably get out of the carriage.
Yeah, let's.
Dormont
What
is
time
holding
is
the
it?
door open.
He's just like,
Whenever you're ready.
What time is it?
It's about noon. You know.
Yeah. I'm going to wander off to Zap's shop. I'm gonna try to like duck out away from everybody.
You just want to scoot them.
Yep.
Alright. You can roll a stealth if you want. If you are actively trying to avoid people.
I am trying to tactfully avoid. Actually, no, I'm gonna go and talk to, I know his name. I gotta do this in order.
Jandar. Trilby? You want to talk to Trilby?
Yeah, you do that.
Or
Oh,
that
here's,
damn cat?
Jack said, no, Roderick.
Roderick.
Yeah, Jandar is a fucking cuck.
Very nice.
my boy.
Health is +6, dirty 20.
20. You guys can roll perception if you care to try to notice Assy, but if not, then she is going to make her way away from the group as you guys exit the carriage. Yes, Cole.
1.
1.
33.
Natural 1.
33? Yeah, I mean, you're well aware.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just.
Yeah, you're just constantly perceiving everything at all times. Undistracted by the beating of your own heart, it's amazing the things you can notice.
Also, would you guys have allowed me to put the
Mind is a
all
solid
the
place.
paperwork from Matthias in my pocket dimension?
I mean, you grabbed it and threw it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also have Hotha in there as well, and if you recall, you only have so much
Yep.
time that she was willing to let you keep her in there.
Yep. That's what I'm trying to run through it.
Alright. Anyone else you want to make me aware of what you're doing besides heading off to the Grumpy Hornet?
Actually, is there a general supply store around, like just general goods?
Yes, there is. There's so to kind of view the description once again of Phaepon, so you can tell me what it is you want. We have the 5 spires. The spires themselves are like the bigger things for like, you know, more. It's like a bit of a town center, but besides that, there's an entire town around you guys that you could go to at any time. So if you want to go into the town, you can find something there, or you could just go to like the barracks, or there's another place where they just have like a small market where just people come in and set up for the day.
I'm looking for a flask.
Looking for a flask. Well, you could do either of those. So if you don't want to travel far, you can do the spires. If you want to do some sightseeing, I can just walk you someplace else. What do you prefer?
I'll go to the spire. I'll give Dormon a gold and say, hey, buy the first round. I'll be right back.
Don't take too long. He's gonna head on inside and give you a nod. Shuttle Shroud, cool. Anything I should be aware of?
Before A-Rod leaves, I'm gonna ask, how long are we gonna be staying here? Are we gonna be heading out somewhere else?
Yeah, we'll be heading west,
Black-
presumably.
Isn't Black Hollow where we're supposed to be going?
Not officially. It is west, and it's a point that we can go to.
I think that's our next bet.
I think I'm gonna go talk to Jandar. I'm gonna try and confer with Matthias, and at least let him know that what he's asked has been completed, and that we heard of something going west if he has no other issues.
Okay, so are we leaving today?
Probably not today.
Tomorrow?
Probably. Tomorrow is probably a better bet. It's between you and the locket, my dude.
Yeah, hey, Azzy? Where the fuck did she go?
She left a little while ago.
Well, okay.
She'll be around.
Hopefully she remembers. Yeah, I'll catch up with you at the bar. I need to go send a couple letters real quick, but I'll be right back. What?
Are these like the letters that you gave to Zap?
I have messages to send. Actually, I need to send one to Danny.
Just don't incriminate us, please. Be a little goblin. Do your kobold thing. Just try not to get the rest of us and shit.
Okay. I think I can do that. Yep.
Give her.
Alright. Assy, you left first, so you would be arriving first as you break away from the group quickly, walk around this pond, and you head to where Broderick should be. He is in probably the same one that he was in the last few times, which is the guard/barracks. Most people recognize you at this point as you guys have come around. You know, people have been talking about you, so you just kind of like let in. One of them does go. Do you need me to announce that you come in, or do you expect it?
Let him know.
Well, come with me then. He's gonna.
Also, just before I approach the building, I want to quickly like close my eyes and see if I can make any connection with Dottie.
Dottie, when you do that, Dottie is actually like getting very close. Looks like they're on their way back, and you recognize, based on the like little bit of remnants of smoke, that it's about where Bola was. So they'll be with you within the next 4 or 5 hours.
So Dottie's already delivered it?
Yes, and they're on their way back.
Okay, I'm gonna just snap her back.
Okay. Guy
It's
kind of
like
jumps
almost
back as you suddenly have an owl. Oh, please follow me. Just gonna take you up. Knock on the door. Knocks
Got this
again.
owl that's ridiculously big compared to the size of a dwarf.
He just kind of opens the door and Roderick? He might be with Janda? He like walks into the office and he looks across and he's like looking at the other spires. I don't see him. I see Janda in his office though. Huh. Comes back towards you. I'm afraid he's not here right now. I can deliver a message if you need.
That's fine. I'll go speak with Jandar then instead.
Okay.
But thank you for your troubles. And does he look like a particularly like young man? Like he's like the lowest guard on the rung?
Probably not. He looks more like he's doing more of a secretary role. He has a nice, well, with your perception, you don't really pick up too many details, but he seems like he has, you know, a decent beard on him, keeps his hair well groomed, and then he does have like the insignia of Fey Pond, which seems to be like 5 spires in front of a blue pond.
But he's more administration than an actual guard?
Yeah, he doesn't have like any weapons or anything like that on him.
Okay, I'll tip him a copper. Sorry for bothering you, and I'll leave. Head over to talk to Jandar then instead, I suppose.
Alright. A-Rod, you are going to another spire, and you come into one of the spires that isn't really used in an official capacity. As you come in, it's like a small market setup. There's several stands scattered around this place, and a couple more look like they've been around a bit longer, and they've actually built like little additions onto it, and there's actually like some wooden walls that are like, you know, enforced as part of the structure as well. So it's just, you know, a nice open air, well, closed air market, shall we say.
I'm just gonna be wandering through and just kind of like, flask? You got a flask? You?
you. As soon as you start offering, you know, these people here, they seem quite helpful, and you're pointed off in one of the directions. One of the people does inquire, though. You looking for metal flask, a wooden flask? We have a very good wood cover just in the back there. Or if you want something a bit more elven made or something dwarvish make, you know, we really
something
have
elven would be nice.
Elven. Well, in that case, and he points over to one of the corners, but there's one of the stands that does seem a bit more established, but this one, it looks like they've been slowly building it out of metal, similar to other elven structures, but this one is like very fine strands, and it looks like they're actually taking time to like weave it together. It almost looks like, you know, braided planks that they've set up to create this little stall that they have.
Beautiful work here.
Well, thank you. Glad you enjoy it. Decent looking guy. You would guess he's probably half elf, but he has like, his hair's like put in a bun, like piled on top of his head, and he's like put like, I wouldn't say it's a tiara, but it looks like a tiara. You know, he's trying to turn it into something, but it's not quite there yet. As well as, you know, just jewelry is adorning, very similar to Janda, almost everything on him. With your perception, you would even like see some of the pieces are the same, and you're like, this is the guy that makes them.
Ah, okay. Well, I'm looking for a flask, something elven looking, metal.
Elven, we definitely have quite a few of those, and he's going to pull out a couple of things. Some of them are a bit plainer than others, and it just looks like they just have like a couple of engravings on them. He has another plain one and goes, I can engrave this if you want. And then he has other ones that look like it's a metal flask, but then he's like woven some sort of structure around it.
Ooh, I like that one. What's that little structure you got going on there?
It's just something, as well as you can tie some ropes to it or anything else to fashion it to whatever it is that you need. Always sucks losing your flasks in the world.
That's true. I'll take it.
Fantastic. It's only about 1 gold for this.
Here you go, and I'll give him 2 gold. Keep the change.
Oh, you're very generous. If you need anything else, please, at your service.
I appreciate your time. Now I gotta go fill this flask. And I'll head back towards the bar.
Alright. Next, we're going to jump to probably Cole, because it's going to be fast, and then it'll be you two running into Janda.
Post office or whatever it is that's equivalent.
You want to send actual letters.
Yes, I do.
That's a little shocking. Sorry, I'm reading as to where this would be. You would need to ask around. Make me a persuasion check or an investigation check.
I think we'll go with persuasion, since I'm actually good at that. Sort of. Hey, not bad. Plus, 21.
21. Alright. So, what you are able to gather after you ask around for a little bit, usually, you know, you're looking for some sort of coop or something that would be closer to the edge of town. That's gross. But what you're told is, basically, since Zap came in, they don't really have a need to have boards themselves that fly out, because they just trust him to just send messages. There's a place for boards to come, you know, ones that have been bred here and sent out, but they don't keep ones from other towns here, right? So you're told, you know, messages can reach you here, but if you need something out, kind of need to ask the wizard. And if you were to pry, which with that you would be told, he kind of insisted that he's aware of any messages leaving the town.
Really?
Yes, he's rather
Paranoid?
paranoid, yes.
Schizophrenic?
Well, I wouldn't say that to his face, but
But we all know the truth.
he's a little controlling.
What about messages sent from inside the town? Letters.
What do you mean?
Like, does he insist on knowing anything about those?
Most. Roll a persuasion check one more time.
17.
17. There is a couple of people if you're looking to get something out discreetly.
Yeah, he doesn't really need to know my business. I really don't think that he has that right.
Well, I mean, it costs a little extra, but
That's okay.
call it 5 silver, and wherever it needs to go, I'll make sure it gets there.
How quick? Because this is the one I need to send out of town needs to be like as quick and fast as possible.
Depends where it's going, doesn't it?
I need to send a message to Milscar.
I could probably get it out today, maybe tomorrow. But it would take a while to reach there if we're going by board. Or courier.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I think I might have a way to do it faster if I just wait a day or so. You know what? How about just some private messages sent from inside the town to going to Zap.
I'm afraid I'm not in that business.
My friend.
Anything containing messages to him would rather give away the fact that there are people here sending messages that he doesn't know about. And that
Letters,
is just
not
something
messages,
I'm not.
just letters.
Oh, I wouldn't. No. That's no.
Okay, that's fine. I'll give him a silver for his trouble, and I'll figure something out.
And as you're walking away, he's like, "I told you nothing."
No, you didn't. You did tell me where to find a nice cup of juice, though. That's all we talked about.
Smooth.
And where are you heading off to next, Cora?
I'm going to buy some extra rations on the way back to the bar, and I think that'll do it.
Alright, rations, they can be as cheap as like 1 silver a piece to as much as like 1 gold a piece, so.
No, I'm doing 7 of the gold.
Jeez.
So,
You basically get like, lumnus bread, not to rip off Tolkien or anything like that, but just good, nice, light, nutritious food.
good, because I was already
Decent
a little
taste,
bit low.
but it's rations, end of the day. Shalashar, how quickly were you heading towards Jandar's office?
Probably as soon as we kind of got out of the carriage. I was like, well, I got something to do, so I'd probably head there pretty quick.
Alright, let me just check my map. Well, you two are going to be pretty much reaching at the exact same time, so you'll just run into Assy. You kind of like make it to the door overtaking the bridge. You'd get inside, you'd be told, oh hey, we can get you up there, and as you guys are going up, Ashley like opens the door from the connecting tower.
Assy, what are you doing here?
Well, I couldn't find Roderick, so I figured I'd go for speaking to Jandar.
Didn't you have a bit of a with Jandar?
I mean, he was supposed to see the logic of something.
You told us he was gonna reprimand us to Matthias.
Don't worry, Matthias will understand. I'm gonna actually like scooch Dottie and ask her like, so how did it even go, baby? Are they happy to get their things? Did you do your job well?
Just kind of like coos at you and like rubs against you. And at this point, you realize that they also have like a little note attached to their leg. You didn't notice it before, but
I'm gonna take it off and I'm actually gonna like take it off and I'm gonna stand next to Salashar and unroll it so both of us can read it at the same time.
you know,
Just
it's
as
like,
cunt.
it's like a single full, and it just says, "Thank you for the stone. We're going back home." And it's just signed The Rock.
The Rock.
Look at that. We managed to sort out both Bola and the oak problem with minimal bloodshed, I'd say.
Definitely could have been worse.
The person escorting you just kind of. Are we going?
Please, lead the way. Sorry.
As I'm like squeeze past you guys and get you up there. Knocks on the door. And this time the door just kind of like opens on its own. Who's going in first?
Probably let the gentleman leading us go in
He
first.
doesn't.
And
He
then
just like the door opens and he just kind of like.
I'll probably just
I'm
walk
gonna
in.
take a half step behind silly string.
Silly string.
Hey,
That's the name.
How badly can I mispronounce Salashar? Let's find out.
Alright. Jandar seems to be, he looks quite pleased to see Shalashar. He is wearing silver robes this time. He has, obviously lots of jewelry upon everything, and he has his hair like braided as like over top of his shoulder, and it looks like he's even like put several silver and like gold, I won't say wires, but like very fine chains like through his hair. And he's like, oh, and then he sees Assy and his face just kind of drops and he goes, oh.
I'm gonna brush my earring and I'm just gonna be like, I know. I am so sorry.
Who are you sending that to?
To Jandar.
To Jandar?
I'm standing right here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna yell it.
We are all in the same room.
He just
Yep.
kind of takes a seat behind his desk, and you see kind of like, crosses his arms a little. Looks a little taken aback. Yes?
How are you doing today? To preface.
I'm doing fine. What can I do for you?
I understand there was.
You know that there will be no more problems with Bola as he's dead. Nor will you have any further issues with the orcs.
Oh? Well, I mean, that is good news. Do you have proof of these claims?
We did not have a chance to take his head, but I do have his sword.
Okay, I mean, I suppose that counts for something, and I've been told that there is a fire off to the west of here, so I'm inclined to believe you.
We were able to disrupt most of what they were doing. I'm still not certain of it myself as to why there were women and children in the encampment, but I don't believe they should be any more of a threat. They're now leaderless. They've been disrupted.
How big was this town of women and children?
But where the fire was, it's
No, how big, not where.
not very big. There's probably, out of character, just probably like 200 people.
Yeah,
Like a small. It's more of a village than anything. A lot of camps set up. Probably 200 people, I'd say.
Couple of hundred, and then Bola's own personal army of at least 50.
It's just people watching the wall. There's a small militia, but they seemed to kind of break and run as soon as Buller had gone.
Well, I mean, then it sounds like you did all that was asked, so he's going to stand up. He's going to walk around the room, looks over his shoulder at you guys.
Without the assistance of Dormond and his group as well.
They'll be paid when they come to collect, and he like looks over you guys and like kind of like tries to like position himself in a way so you can't see what he's doing. The little bit he comes back, seems like he filled with something. And he sets a chest down in front of him, opens it, counts a couple of things out, and he throws 10 bags. Sorry, let me double check that. Yes, 10 bags on the table. Doesn't seem like they like have a lot of weight to them, but there's definitely some coin in it.
2 for each of us.
That's up to you. How you split it amongst your 4?
Right,
We'll sort it out in the inn and get out of your hair.
Yeah, I'll grab the bags and then I'll just like throw them into
You want
the.
me to?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Can I grab
Please.
2 of mine?
Actually, yeah, I'll just hand them to you. Do you mind if Jandar and I have the room?
Not at all. I was going to wander off anyways.
I'll give you a little bow as you kind of bow out.
Yep. I'm gonna have like Dottie like fly out the open window, but then Roost there so she can listen in. I'm gonna leave. And once I get out, I'm going to like listen in.
Okay. I assume you're walking down the stairs first, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna walk and I'm gonna find like a little area to sit down and I'm gonna open up a notebook.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pretend to be like reading through shit on my notebook, like head down.
Open up your
Arrows on
Microsoft
my
Word
face.
document.
Yeah.
Just empty.
Answering some emails. Get back to you.
I'm just blankly drawing erections.
Alright.
But I don't know what they're looking like because I'm not there. I'm listening to Dottie.
Alright. Once the door closes, Jando just kind of like temples his fingers and...
I just wanted to, on behalf of our group, AC can be headstrong. I think it's a certain naivety that comes with her age. So I'd like to apologize on her behalf.
Considered the apology accepted.
I was actually hoping to contact Matthias. I don't know of any resources in the town that'll let us contact him, but I feel it's our duty to report back to our employer.
Well, Zap sends most of the messages.
As soon as you hear that, like, you just physically see me get tense.
I figured, but if you want, I can always reach out on your behalf.
I think I should. We did talk by Bowler's camp. He did apologize. He called me a buffoon, but I think it's better than getting death threats.
At this point, you start listening in, Assy.
Yep.
I just wanted to see if there was any plans. I know that I believe you had, and you were going to talk to him about what transpired.
Yes.
Absolutely. Did you get any message back from him?
Nope.
No direction? Okay. Well, we are going to be around town for the next day or so until we can get something out of Matthias. So if you do need us around town, I'm more than happy to help.
Okay, if you're looking, the last person that had any sort of contact was Broderick, but I believe he is currently out with Thilby and the rest. Something about a bear or something.
You might want to keep medical staff on standby. Those wounds that they were inflicted with were of some magical nature. It's more like a curse. I would not expect them to get away unscathed.
Well, I would. Oh, good to know. I'll see what I can do. Now, if there's nothing else for you to deal with, I believe I need to prepare in case 200 people show up trying to find a new place to live.
We'll be at the inn if you need us. And I'll give a little bow and pull myself out of the room.
Alright.
And
then
that's
I'll
my cue to get walking to Zaps.
Okay. Where are you going, Shelashad?
To Zaps.
Okay. In this case, I will jump over to Cole and Arod as you guys are heading to the Hornet. You guys will probably be meeting close to the same time. Arod, you get there probably a little bit ahead as you did a little less searching around and stuff. Domont and his group, they're just going ahead, having some drinks. They've actually been given quite a bit of a room. This place isn't overly busy at this point. It's just mostly their group and then just a couple of other, a couple of orcs here, a couple of elves. Mostly half-elves, though, within Fey Pond, as they're just all having some drinks. Pretty quiet day, though, overall.
I'm gonna walk up to the barkeep with my flask and be like, fill this with the strongest alcohol you have.
Alright, he points over at Dumont. They said that you'll just be added to their tab, same with the others, so
Of course.
you just want to grab something, fill it up, hands it back to you. Wine, I was assuming, a mead?
I was thinking more of the liquors.
More of the liquors.
Do you have liquors here?
All those giant snakes.
A couple? Do you have any sort of preference or flavors in mind? We
Surprise.
dabble. Surprise you. Just kind of like looks you up and down quickly. He's like, trying to figure something out. I think I got something. Come back a little bit later and hand it to you. Whatever it is, burns. It almost feels like you just swallowed liquid fire, and like you make a con save for me just very quickly. Or a dex check.
Yep.
Either or.
I'll make a dex check.
A dex check.
Make sure you don't-
16.
Could be
16.
calm.
You instinctively reach out and catch yourself on the counter, and it feels like your sinuses are just about to explode, and it's you look up and it's everything seems clear to you.
That'll put some hair on your chest.
It definitely will.
I'll take
from
a tankard of
Sigwolf.
ale as well.
That'll put hair on my chest.
Just so you know, for the next hour, you are unable to be put to sleep, and you have an advantage on your next perception check.
Wow. Okay.
Damn, fill up your thing with that. That's what I need.
One second. I have a name for this. Let me just
You still need eyes to make a perception check.
pull it up.
Hey.
It's called Watcher's Brew.
Old enough to fly without eyes.
Watcher's brew.
Yes. It's from Sigwolf whenever they are not able to sleep or they need to stay awake throughout the night.
Well, it certainly does its job. Ooh. Yeah, a tankard of ale, and of course Dormond and his group over there. They're on me.
He's already pulled you like something else. He's like, you don't want to wash that down.
Yeah.
You said strong.
Thank you.
You said strong.
No, you nailed it. You nailed it. I'm a little drunk already. Ugh. And I'll grab my mug and head over to Dormond, just throw my arm around his shoulder.
He like
Just be
looks
like-
you over and he's like, what the fuck happened to your eyes?
Oh, it's just this awesome thing I just found out about. Don't worry about it.
Your eyes are just this fucking big.
Looks like you haven't slept in a week.
Talking at double speed.
And Cole, you can show up whenever you want as well, but unless there's anything else you guys want to do, I'll probably jump over to the other group and then we'll probably jump back in with you guys at some point. But again, if there's anything you want, you can only have priorities, so just let me know.
I'm just getting hammered.
Cole, anything I should know?
I'm just gonna have some juice.
Some
And
juice?
let me know how much the tab is for
Not gonna be
Dormond and
sitting-
his group.
Dormond
not gonna
like,
be sitting
waves you
with,
off. He's like, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm not sitting with those guys though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Dormond is like, he's watching you and he's keeping a table between you guys.
Oh, I'm sitting with my back to them.
You're back to him?
Don't be like
Yep.
that, Core. Come on. We've been
Talk to
through
the
so
table.
much together.
Nah, I'm good.
Alright.
That guy's still an asshole.
I don't think you're an asshole.
At some point, by the way, the barkeep does bring you a drink. And it's like a very kind of like, it looks pink. And it looks like they've also put a little umbrella in it.
Oh, nice.
It's from the elf.
I'm gonna keep that. I'm keeping the
The
I'm gonna
umbrella.
keep that the umbrella.
Alright, sounds good.
Tuck it between like a hole in your ear.
Alright, Assi and Shalashar, you two will be heading over to, I believe it is called the Fairy Tale? Let me double check. Yes, the Fairy Tale.
Is it open this time?
It is open this time.
Okay, that long trail of signs.
Yeah, no, the signs have been,
The ominous
Seriously,
signs.
you're gonna die.
yeah,
Not
no,
gonna fucking go there.
the signs have been taken down.
Okay, I'm gonna like knock twice and then step inside.
Alright. Inside, you know, it's very similar to the other spires, but this one, the bottom level is just completely empty and looks like the staircase has been expanded. But the odd thing is, like, the other ones, the staircase kind of like disappears behind a wall. This one, it just seems like it like almost twists in place and then just kind of like comes to an end, like 5 steps up. Like, it's like, it looks more like a little stepping dais that you just walk onto.
I'm gonna go step onto it.
Alright, you watch as Asu just apparates, just gone.
Wouldn't I get here like quite a bit before him?
Yes, you would have.
Yeah.
Alright, so you appear in what seems to be a much larger room at this point. It's almost like just a, you know, like the Matrix when they go into like the white room where it's just bright and then there's just
Yeah.
rows of shit. It's like
Yeah.
that, but it's just things behind glass. And there's just several items.
Well,
What do you
this
think
is
about when you go into this place?
amazing. I'm thinking about scrolls, and I'm thinking about talking to Zap.
Okay, and then the very first thing when you turn to the side, you just see a bunch of scrolls. And then when you have that thought, you just hear a voice, and it just says, "I'll be a minute. Just hang
Okay,
tight."
because I would like to talk to you before the undead idiot arrives.
You just hear a sigh, and then suddenly, everything kind of like falls away, and then you're just in his office. Similar one that you were dragged into Shuttle Show, even though you're not here. So it's almost the exact same as Jandar's, except the desk seems far more ornate, and there is really not much else for me to describe other than it looks very similar to Jandar's office for you. And he's there, heavily pierced. He has very kind of like almost pearlescent skin, and his hair is like white with like streaks of purple and stuff like that throughout it. Everything about him, it's like you look at him and then it almost changes to a different shade of purple or blue. And his eyes also have like some weird kind of like sparks and stuff flying through them.
I have got to admit, Zephyrius, I love your style, and I love the use of what is that? Some sort of pocket dimension for your shop? It is amazing.
That? Well, I don't want to brag or get into it too much, but something similar to that, but it's mostly in here.
It is amazing. I can do like a little bit, and like I flick my hand and I pull out I pull out a pair of pants.
Make an arcane check for me.
And I throw it over my shoulder. I can do a little bit of similar stuff, but not that much. Ooh, I don't think that's gonna be enough. That's plus 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11.
Yeah, you're not too sure about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really looks a little interesting. He goes, huh, maybe a bit more to you than meets the eye.
Maybe just a little bit. I wanted to talk to you, though, about being able to contact Matthias. And I also wanted to procure a couple of scrolls from your shop.
Okay, well, I mean, we could definitely do that. At this point, Shalasha, you'll be able to walk in as well. You'd see the dais. What scrolls can I get for you?
I'm looking for stuff of the ritual variety. Out of character, Aspia would not know what she's looking for, but in character, I know exactly the ones that I want.
Okay.
And the top ones are Layman's Hut, Alarm, Phantom Steed, and Detect Magic.
And you want these as scrolls?
Yes, so that way I can add them to my own book.
Okay. Well, I could make the scrolls for most of these. As for things on hand, I do have a sending scroll on hand. But the other one would take me a little bit of time to pen, but I do have other items that fill similar things that you can get for roughly the same cost without needing to transfer them. You understand, of course, that transferring one spell to another does infringe or incur a larger price, so you'd be paying double for the items instead of getting... He walks over and he pulls out what seems to be a little marble. This, for instance, that can turn into one of those once a day.
Fascinating. Now, see, I'm interested in scrolls because that way I can then accomplish the task myself whenever I so please. But items, as long as they are not such that I must attune to them, would also work just as well.
You should meet your friends here, by the way. Quickly, Shalasha, are you stepping on the dais, or what are you doing as you walk into this place?
Yeah, I just walked straight up.
Okay.
I would like a chance to talk to Matthias before he, in an area where he would not be able to hear me.
Well, he can't hear you yet, and I could send a message, so why don't you think of 25 words, or less? And he's gonna hand you a piece of paper. to write it down on. Shalashar, same description, white room similar to the Matrix. What do you think of when you look at
Just zap.
just Zap? Alright, in that case, looking at it, you just see several magic items or different things that are kind of like changing throughout the glass, as well as just your own reflection staring at you, and you just hear Zap and just a moment, I'm with someone. Please, peruse, have a good time. Don't tap on the glass, though. That would not be a good idea. Do you have your 25 words ready?
I'm at 8 words. 1 second. I'm trying to think of like as much as I can with with using as few words as I can.
Me kill. Where go? You pay much? Miss you. Hugs and kisses.
XOXOXO.
Right, while you're writing this, Zap is going to appear in that room with you, Shalashard.
Hello.
Welcome to Fairy Tale.
I was hoping to contact Matthias about our job, really, and I understand the messages need to go through you.
Yes, that is correct.
Would I be able to ask you to tell him, how does it work exactly? I'm not familiar with this type of magic.
Do you want the short or the actual explanation?
Just short and sweet.
Short and sweet. Well, you give me 25 words or so. Use a little bit of magic. They hear it, and then they can respond in 25 words or so. They will know who it comes from.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Matthias, Selshar here. Bowler's dead. Thinking about going to Black Hollow. Let us know.
That's it? Well, I'm not charging you by the word, if that matters. I'm simply charging you for sending the message.
No problem.
Alright, I'll be right back. And he just kind of like disappears and appears back in front of you, Assy.
I hand him the paper, and it reads, "Mission complete. Bola's dead. Peace established with orcs. Salashar nearly lost paperwork. Send information to me in future to avoid further problems. Love, Assy."
Such a cunt.
Well, I mean, I could send all of that, but you should know your friend gave me similar message, very short, asking about where he is going next. If you want to reword that, I could only charge you guys once instead of twice. How about Assy
Let him
here?
know that I've already sent a message notifying him of what we completed, so he can just ask about where we're going next, and I'll peruse your scrolls in the meanwhile.
I mean, I
the
have
other-
no
similar-
problem getting paid twice. You should know that these messages cost about 1 silver each.
Yeah, just make sure you let him know that I've already sent him a mission completed thing,
All right,
and
well,
I'll look at your items.
in that case, he points towards the door, and he just kind of like quickly. You don't really know what he does, but he looks like he's like doing some weird stuff in the air, and you almost feel like, you know, a bit of static building. He goes, "You can step through it now."
And I'm going to tip an imaginary hat to him and go through.
And you just, you like almost bump into Shalashar.
You are just a looming pile of metal and bones, aren't ya?
I thought I'd find you here.
Yeah.
I didn't hear Dottie fly away, so I assumed that you were hanging out.
Dottie's everywhere I need her to be. At the moment, she's currently, like, sitting at a window outside the bar watching, A-Rod, so I'm gonna close my eyes. It looks like A-Rod is hanging out with Dormont. Of course, Cole is on the other side. And you shouldn't be hearing Dottie anyway, she's an owl.
You can hear the flap of wings. They're silent when they fly because of the way the air moves. You can still hear them flap. Is there a reason we're standing here?
Because you're standing in front of me and I'm trying to get to the scrolls.
I'm just gonna, like, hold my hands out in this big white room. There's plenty of space.
Yeah, but it seems weird to just... And at this point, I'm gonna, like, duck around him, and at the same time, I'm gonna, like, poke a finger in between some of the pieces of his metal and, like, try to...
There's
tickle a
nothing
bone.
to tickle. It's just... You just feel air.
No, there's no rib bone in between, like... No bit of...
I'm wearing splint. It's literally just heavy, and then there's metal. Like, you have to...
And then nothing. That's the weirdest thing about hitting
Like,
a shallow shell. You're like, oh, there's something here,
If
and then it's just...
blades can't get through my armor half the time, your fingers digging your hand in, you're gonna have to put a lot more effort in.
Oh. As you guys are doing this, Zap just kind of like walks. You know, it almost looks like to you, Shalsha, because you notice him coming. He like starts like tiny, and then after like 3 steps, he's like full size, like almost like right next to you guys. It's a silver for the sending, but I sent both of your messages. Same person to both, so he replied. He pretty much just said you'll be paid when you get to your next place. You can go to Black Hollow if you want, or you can head back. It's really up to you, but nonetheless, Black Hollow does have your next payment if you're interested, or find a way back to Millscott.
I'll reach down and I'll grab one of my golds and I'll just toss it to him. Thank you.
I'd like to settle the tab all at once.
Okay, I mean, fair enough. If there's anything you guys want, of course, you can simply think of it and it will appear, but I do have a couple of items available. Specifically, one of your friends, the one that uses a bow, I did make him something as an apology, and maybe you can give it to him.
I would love to give him a present from you.
He pulls out, like, just a bowstring.
Okay. Should I... No, I'm not even gonna bother asking what it does. I can deal with that later. Figure it out
You'll
myself.
figure it out. Tell him to just put it on a bow and give it a draw.
Well, I'm going to love not telling him what this is and watching him figure it out. I'm gonna just throw it over my shoulder and it's gonna go into my space.
Besides that, as I was saying, scrolls, of course, you could always do scrolls, but there are other things that would save you quite a bit of money.
Yes, let's look at those. I would definitely like to acquire at least 1 scroll of sending.
Now, recommendations, in case you do happen to care about those.
I do care very much. I spend entirely too much money stopping the orcs from invading.
We have... He's going to, like, point to some gloves. You, for instance, almost got shot. So these gloves, missile snare, you could always use those next time if you wish to snatch something out of the air. We also have several tokens that can hold pretty much any spell you want as a one-use. Cost depends on those. Here is something peculiar, and he pulls out, like, this tiny little rod, presses a button, and a blade comes out. They call it a rod of stabbing. So you can always use one of these. Clicks it again, puts it back. Of course, unmovable rods, bags of holding.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm dead serious. Also, one of these, and he points towards a bell. You have no idea how close I was to ringing this thing when it came to bringing you in. And you're lucky I didn't.
What does that do?
Calls an assassin bound to it to track down whoever it is that, I call him to bring.
Huh. Well, I did tell you I was looking for, particularly stuff to allow us protection when, out and about on the road, like, the hut I had heard about before. And, I would like a phantom steed. I had seen a ritual spell for that somewhere.
Well,
Detecting magic, comprehending languages, those sorts of utility things, always helpful. But do you have any way to make it easier for me to find my daggers after I throw them at things? Because right now I throw a dagger and now I'm short a dagger.
well, there are a couple of ways of fixing that. There are enchanted daggers that you can throw, they'll come back. There are things you can attune to daggers that will then bound with said daggers. It's really a matter of which way you would like to skin that cat.
Continual light.
Now,
What enchanted daggers do you have? And then can we attune an enchanted dagger to the thing that makes it come back?
yes, we definitely could, but there again, it just depends on how much you're willing to spend. So, I have many things. Why don't you start with telling me what your budget is?
How much was in,
Each of those bags contained 100 platinum each. So the group wide, you guys got over 10,000 gold.
I've got
Hey.
290 platinum.
So,
I'm gonna press, my little hearing of message. Hi, love. We all have over 200 platinum. Currently at Zaps. Would you also like me to get you anything with your potion?
the
Just looks
message
at your
doesn't.
flask. I can get so fucked.
I'm going to kill my liver.
I can buy a new liver.
Give me a scroll of sending. Heart kisses. A-Rod.
What about Cole? Anything else?
Core, do you want anything from the magic shop?
Oh my god, you are so drunk.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you too. Yeah, actually, if they're not too expensive, I would like a scroll of sending also.
Core wants a scroll of sending also. Much love, A-Rod.
Well, both of them want scrolls of sending, nothing else, but I feel like we should get them some presents. And look around, see if there's anything they might like.
You are aware that scrolls of sending are one-time use unless transferred, right?
They are aware of this. I think they just want it for shenanigans.
I mean, fair enough. They are quite expensive. I offer my services at a steep discount, so almost anyone can use it, but the scrolls themselves, provided you can use them effectively, they still cost about 700 gold each. And then to transfer it is going to cost you about another 300 to 400 gold.
I believe I'm the only one capable of transferring anything, and even then, it's only rituals I've managed to figure out. And unfortunately, sending does not count as a ritual.
So, one scroll then, 700 gold.
2 scrolls, one for me and one for Avot.
Okay.
And, what do you have in terms of enchanted weaponry?
I mean, it's a matter of what can I make on the fly, or if there's anything particular you want. He's going to like kind of like look over the things, and you see he's like, it's almost like he's on Tinder, and he's just like swiping through his panes of glass. Woo! What's your budget looking like?
They both have about 200 platinum as far as I'm aware.
Well, we have things that sting, things that burn, things that light, we have things that track, we have things that mug, we have, I mean, you name it, I am quite a collector.
What about things that mug? And, something that, like, really, I feel like so just really salt the wounds.
Okay.
Wow, I should buy some
Dagger,
salt.
spear.
What weapon have I seen Cole using the most?
You've seen him use axe and spears.
Yeah,
And
axe
shields.
and nah, he's very fond of his shield.
So, which is it?
Let's look. What is your spiciest axe and spear for roughly 200 platinum?
200 platinum.
Kaya, stop looking.
200 platinum, that is about that. So we are looking at... I'm afraid for that much, you're not going to get much. If you were able to get closer to the 7,000 range, or maybe 5,000, 6,000, things really start to open up. But, I mean, for that, we could probably get you something. Sorry, I'm checking the lists of things. Probably a spear, magical at the very least, and if you hit something, you can use a charge to become attuned to that creature and know where it is within a mile. Yes,
Yeah,
Cole.
I'm gonna hit the urn again because we've got 10 charges on this.
Yes, Cole.
Hey,
Oh.
ask A-Rod if he wants to come look at
You are talking
weapons.
to A-Rod. Your thing only goes
Sorry,
to A-Rod.
ask Cole if he wants to look at weapons at Zap's place, because if he can put up more than the 200 some platinum that we just got, then he can get some really spicy stuff here.
Or
Oh my god, do you ever stop drinking? I love you, A-Rod, but you're gonna kill yourself.
You're tearing
your
this family
concern
apart.
is heartwarming. Really. Do you want to go look at spicy weapons?
Quick, out of character game question for the DM. How long has it been since we got here?
Probably about an hour now.
Oh, okay, okay.
A little over, but not by much.
Oh my god, she's shopping, isn't she?
It's gonna cost a lot of money,
Ah.
but they're spicy. With a capital S.
With a capital P.
You know what? Tell her I'm heading over.
He's heading over. Did you hear it? Of course you heard it. It's an earring. Silly me.
Don't mind, like, how, like, put some water in front of you, and he's like,
So much.
think
but
about
you
it.
Probably need help.
They also put a meat in front of you. Don't think too long, though.
Hey Rod, do you just want to come along with me, spend some of your newfound loot?
Oh no, I got my friends right here, and I'm just gonna hold my ale.
Just hug your flask.
It's
They're
okay.
friends now.
Between these messages, I'm still looking at scrolls. I like tap on
The next button.
Shallow.
Sally Charlotte. Sally Charlotte.
Illustrating.
Shallow.
I'm
Silly
Sally
shirt.
Charlotte. Patting on him incessantly. I have no idea what Force Cage or Dream of Blue Veil is, but they sound so spicy.
Gonna like sidestep you and turn to that. Quick question. Do you have any way of teleporting?
I mean, I do.
Do you? Is there a way I could get? Before we had come to Fay Pond, I'd talked to a blacksmith in Red Bay about getting me a set of armor. They said it would be ready in a while, and since we're not heading back, I was wondering if there's a way that I could arrange for you to teleport me there and back, whatever the fee.
I don't think you understand just how much that is going to cost if you're calling friends to get over 200 platinum. I don't want to be rude, but these things are not cheap.
I was curious if I know that I've seen a couple places where they had it kind of in the floor,
Yes.
so I wasn't certain if I'm not a wizard, honestly. I'm not certain about the cost that it comes with.
I usually only use it during emergencies. So, if I use it in not an emergency, I will tell you, it is quite steep. We're looking at about 4,000 gold. One way.
Okay, that's steep.
Now, mind you, distance is not a problem. It's 4,000 gold down the street, 4,000 gold to Yun. As long as it's within this plane of existence, and I know the address, we can get you there.
Is there any way of getting... I'll reach in my pocket and I'll pull out another gold. To contact the blacksmith, is there any way to get the armor here?
I'm not sure if you're being condescending every time you pull me a gold or not. I've charged you so far 700 gold for a scroll. Now, I don't want to come off as rude, but I said it was a silver and you keep overpaying me. 1 silver for ascending, not a gold.
Fair. I generally don't carry silver and copper with me, but I think I have it in here somewhere. And I'll just rummage
I'm
around.
just gonna pull out a silver.
just like bags of gold, just like platinum gold. Where's my cups?
Where's my silver?
I'm gonna pull out a silver and pay for this other sending of his. Dude, this is embarrassing. You've got to break change next time.
I'm paying, what, 2,000, 2,500 for a set of armor?
At this point, Cole, you would be arriving at the fairy tale, so you can step onto the dais if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I'll step on up.
Alright.
We would all get 250 platinum to play with you, I guess.
You would all get 200 platinum.
No, it's 1,000 divided by 4.
Yep, you're right. You're right.
But,
Who's this message to?
I don't think I fucking wrote down their name. I think it's somewhere in Discord. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Well, I'm afraid if you don't have a name and an app description, if it's not someone that I personally am aware of, these things go down. And you might say, well, that doesn't really make sense considering you do all of the things, but I can always send a message to one of my liaisons within there, and then they can track this person down. But again, names, description, address, so on and so forth.
AC.
Mm-hmm.
What was the tavern that you had the dance competition?
Ooh,
The Sparrow?
that was something Sparrow. Dizzy Sparrow? I don't remember. Where did I have the dance competition? I grew up in that town.
The Fleeting Swallow Inn.
Bleeding.
Yes.
In Red Bay, if possible, to contact one of your liaisons. The next problem comes short of typical transportation. If we were to just throw the armor on a courier, say, is there any way to expedite the armor getting here, short of teleportation magic?
You are aware of the distance involved. So, we could get it here, but it would arrive in about... Well, it depends on how it's shipped, but anywhere from a week to 3.
I'm gonna pull out my map with like all the elevations and everything. They vary. Is there any town? Because I know Fay Pond is inland.
What about if we have it go
Seeing
to
if
Black
it's
Hollow?
Black Hollow would indeed be splitting the distance between here and there, and it's north of there, east of here.
Have it meet you there.
All right, if possible. Now how to get the gold there? Do your liaisons? I'm sorry to take up your time. The logistics of that, I figured we'd be going back to Matthias. Do your liaisons have access to gold? If I give you my gold right now, can you ensure that the gentleman gets paid on the other end? Or am I going to have to arrange for payment for the blacksmith on my own?
It depends on the sum of gold. This isn't an easy thing, but I can always make it work if it is a decent enough sum.
We had talked about 2,000 for a full set of plate mail.
2,000.
He had to craft it for me. So between the message to your liaison, because we have the information on the blacksmith, I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but it was in Red Bay. It was the market area by the Fleeting Swallow. It was the one elven blacksmith in the entire marketplace. Very fair, fine hair, woke up early.
Wow.
Well, if you
No one woke up?
were to put this up to, we'll say 2,500, I can probably arrange for everything else, and we can meet you there.
I can do that. Just for sake of ease, I'll just pull out the 2 bags of platinum and I'll just throw the 500 gold on it. And the silver on top like a cherry for the sending.
Fantastic.
And one more question, because magical expertise. I told you I've been getting contacted by the failed Lich, correct?
You mentioned something like that.
I do not want him in my head anymore. Is there anything I can get, any magic item that will help me keep him at bay?
Well, there are things that you could use to stop him from scrying on you if you're looking for that, but sending spells, a little trickier, especially if they want to get around, so I wouldn't want to promise that, but there are other means we could go about if you want to deal with him. For instance, I could always follow the weave back, see where exactly he is, and pass that on to you. You know, when you make connections with people, it's a bit of a two-way street if you know how to look at it.
I think that is definitely something we'd be interested in. If I'm not mistaken, he was responsible for the killing of some people outside of Milscar. There were some bodies that were crudely strewn about their homes, and I believe he is responsible. So at the very least, having information on him and whatever he's planning, I think we thwarted his attempt to get his phylactery back. We had ground up the crystal into shards and dust and scattered them.
Now, usually, I would charge for these services as well, but someone dealing with lichdom interested myself. But I am going to need to do a little digging around in there.
Of course.
We'll talk after this. Small lizard, is there anything I can help you with?
Small lizard. Oh, AC. Oh, Kerr. I started talking about AC. I'm like,
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
it's called
Yeah,
psoriasis.
I think AC should be more insulted than me, but there was mention of some weapons I might be interested in.
Yes, it depends on the sort of weapons you are interested in, but I do... my brain blanked. Yes, there are quite a few weapons that we could, look at for you. I was told that your budget isn't quite that high, but if you know
It's
what you're
probably higher
interested
than
in,
mine.
we can probably, sort something out.
One-handed only, so I like to use my shield in combat too.
Axes, spears, swords.
No swords. Well, maybe if they're like really cool. Got any axes? I mean, I've got this one. This bearded axe that turned out to be pretty useful.
Well, maybe not in exactly that design. I can also always enchant things as well. If that's something you're interested in. I understand some people have some sentimental value, but as for axes themselves, we have all sorts of things. We have axes that can do fire, axes that can do lightning. Those are really my two specialities, as well as things that return. Dabble a little bit with psychic things, but mostly lightning, fire, dimensions. Mostly where I spend my time studying.
Ah, boy. How much would
Why don't you give me a budget? And
How
then
much
we'll
would
look
a
into
fire axe be?
a fire axe?
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull these up for a frame of reference and look at lists. Well,
While he thinks I'm gonna lean over to Assy, you remember we're on like a kind of a time crunch.
I know. We've still got at least 2 hours.
if you can come up with about 5,000 gold, I can get you a flame tongue axe.
No, I cannot. That
Well,
is
How close
of
can you
my
get to that number?
not as close as I'd like. Besides Bone Daddy there, I'm also saving up for armor. I've got enough, but that's gonna take time.
You should all know that I also deal in favors, especially if you're able to put down at least half of a down payment.
What sort of favors?
Varies from certain things, but that's, for instance, what I'm doing for this one. He gestures towards Shalashar. He's paying a little bit of a difference to bring it up. I'm trading one of my favors for them to do this for me, and that's why I'm able to move his armor. These are things like this.
Do you happen to have a sentinel shield?
A sentinel shield. I'm not quite familiar with that.
Yeah, I saw it in, I forget, one of the towns we were in. They had one. But at the time, I didn't have enough money to buy it.
Out of character, this is the one that gives you advantage on initiative and wisdom perception checks.
Yeah.
For one of those, yes. I actually do have one, and he spins to a couple of things.
What are you
600
charging
gold.
for it? That I can do. And I will count out 600 for that. Haha, fuck you, teacher. I do have a calculator with me all times.
Alright.
Never gonna have a fucking
So-
calculator in your pocket. Fuck you.
What would it cost to get like Leoman's tiny hut alarm and then either a dagger that returns or a sheath that has my daggers returned?
Leoman's tiny hut. This one I'll need to make, so it's about 800 gold. Then another 300 for you to transfer it to something you can cast. And then the other one, alarm. This one is only going to be about 200 gold, plus 100 for you to transfer.
Okay, so 300 for one, and then Leoman's hut was 800
Plus 300.
plus what? 800 plus 300? That's 130 platinum right there.
Or,
I'm,
again, if you want, 1,000 gold. And you can cast it once a day. And he holds up the little marble again. Or anyone in your group.
and that's for Leoman's hut?
Yes, that's what this makes.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
if you guys want to upgrade, we could again get you closer to the 5,000 range, and we could get you something quite a bit nicer.
Unfortunately, my entire budget is 270. And I doubt any of you guys would be willing to help me get the hut and the alarm, considering, even though it's for like everybody when we travel.
Now, out of character, I'm just going to point this out in case you guys care. If you can raise the money, the next thing will count as a safe space and let you avoid the wary traveler rule.
That's what I really want to get, but I do not have 5,000.
But the group will need to pull together and get in the 5,000 or so gold range. Just so
Okay,
you know.
I was about to say I was messing with my inventory, so I wasn't listening.
Because if you guys are willing to like help me out here, like
I can do like 1,500.
1,500 gold.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
What are we gonna be at?
With his 1,500, and including everything I've got, that's 420 with everything I've got. But then that's like, this is what I'm getting in that
Like
case.
4,200?
Yeah. 420 platinum, that's what I'm going this off of right now.
4,200.
Yeah.
I'll pitch in the extra 8.
And that'll put you
Yeah.
guys up to what?
You're putting in an extra what, James?
800 to bring us up to 5.
Okay. So I'd bring us up to 5, yeah?
Yeah.
And what is this getting us?
This will basically get you, Galder's Tower.
Gold.
But
Fucking love Calder's Tower.
it's a bit more than that. So, the next
I
little
would-
bit, this was when we would say perhaps a favor, where if you come back into town, or if I need something, I might reach out. You can always say no, but I'll continue to reach out until the balance is paid.
Yeah, I'll owe you a favor for this.
And is this a favor for you in particular, or just the entire group? I just need to know who I can or can't reach out to.
For myself in particular, I would say I'm not going to sign everybody else up.
You are doing me a favor, so I'm willing to put my head on the line if you need a hand.
Fantastic. Well, if it's going to be the two of you, any specific things you want included in this tower?
A jeweler's workshop.
Okay. Let's see what I can do.
Just essential, even just a workbench. And basic area to work in.
Any other requests that I should know?
I don't
A
believe
bath.
A bath
A bath.
bath for the lizard.
comes with one of those, don't you worry.
Like a
Green
nice
and copper
large
bed
tub.
sheets in my room.
Clawfoot? You want a Clawfoot bath?
Oh yeah, yeah. Out of character. Used to have one when I was a kid. God, I miss that thing.
Been looking ever since.
So fancy.
Hard to find.
Green and copper in my room.
Well, I'm not quite going into that. That gets a little bit. This one has a couple of floors, but so you'll have a bedroom floor. I'll put in the other thing at some point. I'll include the washroom, and then there's one other room that will probably just be a dining room, unless you will have a specific request in mind.
Dining and kitchen. Yeah.
Maybe a small bar for A-Rod. I think he'd enjoy that.
Can we
Okay.
have like a conversation pit where we eat? So you have like the kitchen, you have the bar, and then you have a conversation pit with the table.
I can see what I can do.
Yeah.
Well, if that concludes our business, then I will get this made. Can get me your money, and whenever you're ready, he's going to just kind of look back at you guys, see if you guys say anything.
I'm gonna pull out all of my money. Guys, I have 10 silver to my name now. That's it.
Easy come, easy go, hey?
I can't even afford rations to get to the next area.
I'll just like reach inside my chest and like, do you want some?
How old are they?
That's not the question. Did you want some?
Don't worry, I've got money for rations.
Alright.
Okay, thank you.
In that case,
Just store it for safekeeping. I'm like a fucking squirrel.
he is going to make like a physical doorway in this white space. And he's gonna like open it
Wait.
up.
You know what? I am gonna buy a scroll ascending.
Okay, that's another
got
700
it.
gold.
Yep. Yeah, I think it'll be worth it.
Okay. I'll pass that off to you. So he passes one scroll ascending to you, one scroll ascending to you. You already have the bowstring. You gave him the money for the thing. Then he opens up this door and he's going to walk through his office and he's going to start crafting something else. We're probably going to quickly take a break here. That works for you guys. And I will write up the description of what is in this tower. Before we go to break, what activation word would you guys like? It can be a phrase, it can be a single word. It should be something you are not going to say in conversation while holding this thing.
Cloaca.
No,
Inflict stupidity.
No. I am
What,
putting up
you're not
no
gonna say
point
it.
for this. I am picking it. Can I have break to think about it?
Inflict, you don't like inflict stupidity? We can go to break and come back, but I like that one. But well, we'll figure out when we get back, alright everyone? So, off the break. BRB 15 minutes. 15 minutes, alright. Bye-bye. Okay, hello everybody. Want to jump into this? Looks like they're currently talking, but hopefully it will be well behaved when I hit the, go live button.
Make bad choices with
Hello
my money all the
everyone.
time.
So, we're going to jump back into this. So, as we were leaving off, he opened a door, and this door actually takes you into a replica of this tower that he has made. He just quickly explains, he can make a couple of alterations if you so wish. What you guys walk into is pretty much the first room that you described. It has a giant pit in the middle with a wooden staircase that goes down. The rest of this pit is lined with what seems to be cushions and couches. So you guys could either jump down into there or you could sit down. Not too deep. Besides that, there's a small...
Kitchen with the stove?
Huh?
Kitchen off to the side with the stove, yeah?
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
There's a small kitchen tucked in the corner. And next to that, the kitchen has just a couple of cabinets, and it also has what seems to be a basin that's filled with water. And he explains, it'll fill with fresh water each time. Besides that, in the other far corner, there is a table that has a little bit of jeweler tools and stuff like that stacked around it, as well as a couple of nooks, crannies, shelves just above that. To go up, there's a ladder, which takes you up there. What you come into is pretty much a hallway with 3 doors on either side, and at the very end is another room for a total of 7 rooms. He tells you that the ones on the side are bedrooms. They have a bed, a small side table, and a storage chest in each one. And at the very back is a tub that is constantly filled with warm water, but don't leave it for too long. He takes you up to the 3rd level. Golders Tower usually has 2, but this one has 3 levels. The 3rd one is open to the top. This tower, you can see from up here, is square. It has a small little, I don't know what they're called. I want to say flying buttresses. Whatever it is, it's just your typical medieval tower thing, right? There's a telescope up here to look off in the distance. There's a chair next to it to sit down, and there's also a table that you would put a map down if you needed to.
Crenellations.
Oh, damn, I was just looking up too.
There you go. Now, you should know that this tower will last for 24 hours at a time, but for every hour that it's up, it takes 2 hours to recharge for each hour that it exists. So if you use it for 8 hours, you should be fine.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna get you to send me the write-up of this.
Yes, I can send it. My math might be wrong. I'm gonna say 1.5 hours each to make sure that it's good for each thing. Or it could be 1 hour for each hour up. Let's do 1 hour for each hour up. That sounds better, right? Right?
You could tell us whatever. You are the man in charge.
Yeah, but I don't want it to be well, it's not quite ready yet. I want to put this in the Discord in the long-standing campaign. You guys can do with that as you will. Now, the last thing that I do require is the activation word.
Dignity blacklisted, pants optional. And I want that hung on a little sign on the door.
I mean, if everyone agrees.
I'm fine with that.
Word. Pants optional. Now, you should understand that this is a very short window, so you'll need to say that very quickly to get it through. Alright, fantastic. And he just kind of opens the front door to leave the tower. You guys just kind of appear in the downstairs of Fairy Tale.
Before Zap goes...
Oh, I'm not done with you. I need to dig into your head still. But the rest of you, you're free if...
out of curiosity about the tower, is it, scry-proof? If we're in here, can people not hear us outside? Does sound carry?
No, not at all. It's an existing tower. But it is a safe place. Decently defended, locks on the door. No windows or anything like that. Unless you want windows, then tell me now and I can quickly add windows to the bedrooms.
Quick question. If we put anything in the storage boxes, is it going to be there the next time we come in?
As long as it's not living. All living things will be ejected when you get rid of the tower. Anything inside that is non-living will shrink and become part of the tower if it's been within the tower for longer than 12 hours. Items can be
Leave
attuned
my jewelry,
to the tower.
working supplies in there.
Let me write that down quickly. Items, non-living, left. Tower for longer than 8 hours. Will attune to it. Fantastic. So if you want to add anything, leave it in the tower for 8 hours before you shrink it.
Awesome.
Do you
You'll
want
go
windows
find,
added on any levels or windowless?
I think for the sake of safety, it would be better without windows.
Okay.
What floor are the bedrooms on?
The second floor.
Okay. Can I just get like one, like, ultra arrow slit type one, like a couple of those on my room and A-Rod's room?
Okay.
On opposite side. We're gonna be like across from each other.
Shall we say the middle rooms then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a couple of little arrow slot.
One in the bathroom? I'm kidding. Don't do that.
Kerr will get ideas.
Alright, well. If that's everything, then I just need to pick into this one's brain, but you two are free to go. You already paid me for the tower, so he's going to just kind of like reach back as if he's like going to make a door, and he just like pulls out a tiny little version of the tower.
Just keychain.
Awesome.
Who wants it?
I will take that. Thank you. And let's go find A-Rod.
Yeah, let's do that. First, let's take a little walk, though.
Okay.
Alright. Very quickly, I'm just going to do the thing with Shalashar, and then we can jump to A-Rod if you need anything. If not, we'll jump to those two. Sound good?
Yep.
Alright. So, Shalashar.
Silly string. Yep.
He is going to, if you allow him, take you back up to his office. This time when you step on the dais, you'll just appear there.
Not like this.
And he's just going to kind of like snap his fingers, and a chair is going to like fly across the room and just sit in the center. And goes, you just need to take a seat. You're going to think back to the last time you talked with this fellow. If you know what he looks like or any details about him, focus on that, and then just let me into your mind.
Okay.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Alright. What are you thinking of when you think of this guy?
I'm thinking of his... I'm going to choose the right word. His undying urge to become a Lich. I'm thinking about the journal and the story of how he was an apprentice and how he kind of decided to grow his power and tried to split off and sect himself. Thinking about the figure that was putting the sign on the tree outside the town. Thinking about the people that was killed for him. The amber crystal, the failed phylactery. I'm just letting each of these kind of pass to my head, and him contacting me is like, where's my crystal?
Can you name the times he contacted you?
When we were on the road, when I was walking by the lake, when we were in Milscar, he said it was him for the bodies.
And last thing, can you roll a percentile for me?
Yes. 52.
52. Alright, so as you're kind of like thinking these things, Zap actually like he sits down in front of you and like on an invisible chair, and he just kind of like reaches out.
That's
Yeah, he's like floating in front of you. Like you look down because of your perception. You can see like his feet don't touch it down. He's just hovering in front of you. And he like reaches out and he like puts his hands against your temples. What happens next if you allow it to?
we will trust him.
You'll trust him. All right. So you're like looking into his eyes, and as I said, they're like very bright. You know, as you're looking at him, his pupils kind of like continue to dilate until they're like almost black, and you feel like yourself getting drawn into his eyes. Similar to the room you were in before, where it was just white. This room is just black. You look down, and it's like you're like standing on water. You know, just a ripple goes out from where the two of you are. You look down and you look back, and he like almost comes towards you, right? But he like passes through you, and you almost feel like you're like bending in on yourself. You're like bending into an infinity, and then when you like open your eyes again in like this moment, you're looking over top of a castle, someplace in the woods. You blink, you're closer to it. Blink again, and then suddenly you're like inside of this castle, this ruined fort. You see stones, you see cracked walls, you see roots growing through these. Yes?
From when I was perched above the castle, did I recognize the area?
We'll get to that at the end.
Okay.
As you're in this courtyard, you like look around and you see a door. The door like opens, and without even thinking of it, you just like not walking, you just fly towards it. You go through several turns, just like you're going underground, you're going up, you're going through this maze, and then suddenly you're in a dark place. It's like you're in a cave. The walls rough hewn. Inside though, there's a piece of stonework. Stones set into a circle. Similar to the conversation pit within your thing, it goes down. In the middle of this as well, there is a sconce. The sconce opens up and it is filled with water. You look at it, you see your reflection, you see yourself, you see your group, you see your guys walking, and you see that it raining on top of you the first time he contacted you. You blink again. You see a cloaked figure. You're unable to make out his features, but you can tell this is him. If you know what he looked like, you would be seeing him now. You see him looking down upon this. Make an Arcana check.
On the die plus 4, so dirty 20.
Dirty 20. What languages do you speak?
Common, Elvish, Infernal, Abyssal, Orcish, and Draconic.
Draconic. From this view, looking down at this sconce, this pool of water, it's playing out. Each time he contacted you, it's like he was looking down upon you when he did. There's runes carved into the ground. You're looking down from this, a bird's eye view. You don't recognize any of the runes on it. And with that, you kind of just fly back out. As you're flying back out, you do realize like this is close to Millscar. It's in between Thornbluff and it's in between Millscar. It's within Thorn Forest. And as you kind of like come back to this moment, Zap like takes his hands away from you. It's like, well, that was strange.
What was strange?
The runes on the ground, they're Sylvan. She's not a wizard. He's a druid.
That doesn't make sense. I'm gonna pull out the journal. Sorry, eyelash. I'm gonna pull out the journal. I'm gonna just start flipping through, like right here, and I'll just like show him the passage. And it's just talking about how he kind of tried to usurp his master, like the ruination of the tower and kind of like everything that transpired.
I get all of that, but I mean, I understand you are undead, you live forever. You're not a wizard.
I thought Lichdom was like almost a sect of typical wizardry. I don't
It's
think
a very
Ken-
specialized form of magic, and usually you do need a keen understanding of the arcane arts, but based on what you told me, these interactions, I think he's willfully unprepared. He's not as studied or as learned. He just simply understands you're able to do it, and that's probably why he's made several of the mistakes he has made.
What was that thing in the center of the room? Was that some sort of scrying magic?
Yes, that is probably what that was. It seemed as though he was looking upon you.
Is there, for your services on top of it, is there anything you can give me and by extension us to kind of mask ourselves from his watch?
Looks upon, he's looking on all of you, and he is familiar with all of you, and that would need an amulet for each of you. I'm afraid that is a little above what I'm willing to offer, but you know where he is. If it bugs you that much, you can always drop in and pay him a visit.
From your experience, did he... Sorry to ask you so many questions, it's just gather information where you can. Did he seem competent? Like, would he be a powerful caster? Do you think we'd be prepared?
I don't think I was able to look into anything like that. I simply saw what you saw. I saw the keep, I saw the tunnels he's dug, I've seen what he's made, but it didn't really tell me much about any of that. There's one thing I can do for you. He's going to just kind of walk away. Digs through a couple of things, and he comes back with a little monocle. So we'll let you see invisibility. When people scry or look upon you, they usually need to be looking upon you. You'll be able to see where that is, and if you're able to dispel magic, you could cease it that way, but you would need to be looking through this at the time that he's looking in on you.
Is there anything we can do short of dispelling the magic? Like, once I see him, whatever it is it we just have to dispel it, or is there something else I can do in response to hide us?
I mean, he's looking in on you, so you could dance if you were so inclined, but I'm afraid the only way to deal with magic is by dispelling it.
Get rid of magic. Alright. Well, I think I've eaten up enough of your time. Where will I meet your contact in Black Hollow, or to pick up my armor?
I'm going to inform them that you're working for Matthias, so probably he's going to stop by the Union, if I was to guess, and wherever you go to pick up your payments, through him, probably where this gentleman will leave it.
Thank you for your time and my endless questions.
No problem, and again, we got off on the wrong foot, and I apologize for that, but you have to understand, the Fae are very dangerous beings. They move in very strange ways.
Good times call for desperate measures.
So, I regret the way that I treated you, but I would do it again in a heartbeat. And you should understand that as you are passing through these woods, if you run into the Fae or anything like that, don't trust them. Their magic comes from the suffering of others. Regardless of if they mean well or if they don't mean well, but even if they did mean well, they need to hurt someone to do anything.
Unbridled chaos.
I won't say that, but magic has a cost. And usually, you're the one paying it.
I'll definitely keep my eyes out. And if you do need anything, please, you know how to contact us.
Oh, I'll be in touch. You owe me a favor.
I'll bow my head and I'll kind of bow myself out.
As you're going to the door, he looks at you and goes, "Oh, no. This ends the way it begins." And he just telekinesis you out the tower window. The cycle of life! You guys, as you're like walking out of the tower, you just see Shell just fly out.
Yeet.
58 d8s of damage.
Again?
Yeah. Before you like hit the ground, you do slow down as you're like hit by a feather fall as you just slowly drift the rest of the way.
Fucking hate magic.
I fucking love magic.
As soon as I kind of gather my wits, like I'm just gonna sit there, just rocking on the fucking edge of the shore, and slowly pick myself up and trudge back to the inn.
Alright. The rest of you are currently at the Grumpy Hornet. A-Rod, you can wait for them to join, or if there's anything you want to make me aware of, you have the floor.
I am incredibly drunk at this point. I'm just sitting there with my arm around Dormon, like, anyway, so there I was, battered and bruised, cut and bleeding, and then Bolar comes with this huge sword over his head, and I just put my rapier through his head, through his jaws, right through the back of his skull. It was crazy. It was the craziest thing ever.
He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Bleh."
Is this supposed to be telling or like
Roll
the
me
song?
a persuasion, a performance check, A-Rod, just for fun.
Advantage because he's drunk and he believes it.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. As you've been telling this story, Domon's kind of like, he's taking the initiative, and he's like, put a bit of distance between you guys, and he's like, been like, he started to turn it into a performance. Somehow, in like your state, you've managed to like get on the table, and you're like, telling this to everyone in the inn, and like as you guys walk in, you see A-Rod telling this story. There's a crowd of probably about 20 people now, as like, you know, it's getting closer to like, you know, 2 or so, and people are gathering. Yes, Cole?
I was actually going to lead Assie to the edge of town before she goes back to the bar.
Now, why are you leading me to the edge of town?
Birds and the bees?
Because I'd rather not have me and Hertha in town. I mean, just to be safe.
How much time do we have left? Because I think it would be like at least an hour or so, right?
You guys have about an hour and a half left before she's...
So, hear me out. We have an hour and a half left. We grab the guy, we grab our boys, get horses, and we just leave. Because we've got the tower now. We don't have to stay here. We don't have to pay for a room in an inn ever again.
If they're okay with it.
I'll make A-Rod okay with that, don't worry.
Alright, let's get you some rations on the way back then.
Alright,
Yeah.
so
We'll get the ration, and then we'll get A-Rod, we'll pick up some horses, and we'll leave.
When you guys see me, I look like a fucking chicken with my feathers ruffled.
We'll find you later.
I mean, I'm going back to the inn.
So same description then that you guys walk in on as A-Rod is having his moment, you know, drunkenly recanting, retelling the stories of your adventures dealing with Bola, as like Domon has taken advantage of this, and he's just kind of like, you know, strumming a lute off in the side and just kind of like, you know, setting up a little bit of flair.
I almost hate to ruin this.
Then Assie came behind him. She was like, with the knives and stabbed him. It was nuts, man. It was nuts, man. The whole thing was crazy, and then the whole place is on fire because of these guys, and we don't know what's going on.
And then we made our grand escape, casting invisibility upon our group. Snuck right out. Even nicked a wallet off a man on the way out.
It's true. It's all true. I swear to you.
People like clapping, cheering. You know, everyone seems like they're having a great time drinking. The atmosphere in here is probably the most levity that it has since you guys have
I'm gonna
arrived in
go
this
over to
town.
the table. I'm gonna hold out both hands. Come on, Avon. Come on down to me.
Where are we going? Give me a hug. I need a hug.
Don't worry, babe. I'll give you all the hugs
Charlotte,
you
that is
want.
when you walk in as well.
I'm like helping him down off the
Just
table, like
Been
he's the
around.
princess.
Where are we going?
Going off on our next adventure, aren't we? You got everything you need to get in town?
Oh yeah, I'm good to go. I can hold up my flask.
I don't think he's okay to ride.
I'm topped off. To ride, I'm great. Great to ride. I'm gonna get a DUI on a horse.
Would it be an
Walk it backwards.
would it be like an ID? Whatever it is, I don't know. Acronyms are hard.
RUI.
Thank you.
So where are we headed, guys?
Gonna head to Black Hollow next.
That sounds amazing.
Shalasha, with your stupid perception, as this conversation is happening, you'll realize that Arya, sorry, is that her name? Let me make sure I said that correctly. The female elf in Domon's band, she has like moved towards you guys and she's like trying to listen in.
Can I roll insight on that?
Yeah, you make an insight.
Uh, 23.
23. Seems like she she doesn't really have much intentions like blatant, other than this is just what she does, you know, like she's just kind of, she moves towards you guys just to gather information just because that's what she usually does, you know. She's
That's her role. She gathers information.
apparently, you know, she's just, for some reason she's there, but like she's not showing any intention. She's not keenly listening, nothing like that. She has her eyes darting around the room, but she has like specifically moved closer just to stay in ear.
Gonna head back to
earshot.
Black Hollow. Got some mail to pick up over there. Wanna eventually make our way back down to Milscar and then Thornbluff. Check out and see how those people are doing. Got places to go, things to see.
Are we leaving now?
Yeah.
Alright, good. I'm getting bored here. Let's go.
Awesome.
Can I send her a message when she's like looking around the room?
If, I mean, you could literally get her attention right now if you wanted, or you could send a message. It's up to you.
I want to do a little more discreet. What are you looking for? You're darting around the room. You could probably do a little bit more inconspicuous if you wore a hood or kept your head down.
She just looks at you, and she flashes in Thieves' Cant something to you.
I'm not in a gang.
She just like flashes something else at you again.
I'm just gonna jerk my head outside. If she wants to talk to me, she can come out here
Okay.
while I'm waiting for the rest of to gather.
And where are you guys off to secure some horses?
Yep. We left our other horses at the cavity.
You sure did. So as you guys kind of like gather outside and you're having this conversation, she is going to show up, and she's just going to be, you know, that thing? I can't respond to that.
It wasn't.
I just wanted to let you know.
Is she saying this in Thieves' Cant? Or...
No, she came out and she just like pops her head out and she's like, just saying this plainly.
It was more. It was more a hypothetical. It was more something that you should think of. You obviously gather intelligence, but your eyes are darting around the room and it's a little bit more conspicuous than you think it might be. Not sure if that's what you're going for.
How come you can't reply to it, though?
It's message, it's not sending.
Message allows you to send.
No, it doesn't.
Reply. They hear the message and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear.
Can they?
Yeah, that's literally
Yeah.
part of message.
Oh.
It doesn't even have a word limit. It's just,
Well, in that case, she's just
I-
like,
so-
she's literally shocked by this information. She just looks taken aback, and then she just goes, I'll take advice from someone that I haven't stolen from. Idiot. She just goes back inside, slightly embarrassed.
Like,
She fucks off.
yeah, because the difference between sending and message sending is basically wherever.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
And
message.
It's
Okay.
120 feet.
I thought it was
and
more restrictive than just that, but good to know. Good
Nope.
to know.
It doesn't even have a word limit on it.
Yeah, it's just they need to be within X, distance. That's
Yep.
what it is. Good to know. Right, but searching for horses to get out of here, or what exactly are you guys hoping to do travel-wise?
Oh, and you have to be familiar with the target.
I've gathered that you guys want to head to Black Hollow, correct?
I think we'll probably need to grab a couple horses.
Oh,
Her
You
has his
don't need
mount.
to just be nice to. If what's his shit is banking it.
I'm just quickly bringing up the map to see how long it will take you guys to get there. Not terribly long, but it is. Alright, so here's what you will figure out looking into it. This is Fey Pond. Fey Pond means that there is a pond. The water comes from somewhere. So you guys can
Okay.
travel down the road, or you could charter a ferry ride down the lake, if you so wished.
That
A nice little barge.
I
That
do
would
not
probably
have money
cut
for
off-
that.
I got you covered.
that
Oh,
would probably
that
cut
reminds
off
me.
a lot of time.
And I'm gonna pass you over your 250 platinum.
Oh, sweet money.
Oh, and I'm gonna pull out a string. This as well.
What's this?
It's a gift from Zap as an apology for shooting you.
Two false.
Bowstring, huh?
Yep.
I'll restring my bow. This is the first chance I get.
Okay.
Ferry then?
Barry.
Okay. As long as it's leaving soon.
I mean, so to get to this place, you guys will need to head probably the farthest you've been from the town center this entire time. Not quite the edge of town, but getting close to it. There's like a small little dock set up. It's so weird to see this on like such a gentle river, you know. It's definitely not a raging thing. It's not a quick moving thing, and it's just like this small, almost like a shack. And then there's just a couple of boats out there. They seem like, you know, they have kayaks, they have canoes, they have a couple of rafts. And then as well as there's a couple of barges that just have, you know, what seems to be polemen to like help push it down the river.
Kayaks, though. Anything like a kayak?
Nope. I said what I said and I meant it. I'll homebrew it if I have to. I won't be called on this.
I would like to chart a kayak, though.
A kayak?
Is-
It
do
is
we just
basically
head
a
out now?
giant water buffalo.
Can we fit 4 people on one?
Only if they're gnomes.
Do we need to get any rations or anything before we head out?
I'm good. Cassie's good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
we'll be good. Pick those up.
Great. I'm gonna take another shot from the flat.
I'm gonna try to like stop you and switch it out with my water skin.
I'm drunk. I'm not even gonna contest that. Oh, you pulled a sneaky on me. I see what you did there.
Swap it out with another flask.
Backup
My
flask.
piss flask.
The hidden flask in the bottom of the water skin.
So, between
we
these
just-
shenanigans, you guys, if you were so if you were to inquire, you would be told that you can pretty much rent whatever you want. Rafts you can buy themselves, or you can just simply charter the barge. There's a couple that go up and down here, so we can leave pretty much whenever you're ready. And then when the next one gets here, it's just going to kind of pretty much wait until people show up.
Let's go right now. Get it done.
I think getting there sooner rather than later is better.
On the road again. Da-na-na-na.
So,
Would this take us right to
Blackhole? Yes.
Okay.
It pretty much follows the only river all the way down.
How many days on this?
It mostly depends on, you know, how the weather holds, or, you know, if there's any things that obstruct it, but it'll take, you know, about 4 days. It's quite a bit
Any
faster
stops
than
in
walking.
between?
Hmm?
Any stops in between?
Not really. We get into the Black Forest, and we usually don't want to stop.
Well, yeah, I guess take a budge. It's a little anticlimactic, honestly, but
I mean, it'll be nice to save our feet,
Mhm.
save us a little bit of time, and we'll be eating less rations because we're not burning off the extra energy.
yeah, but we can't use the tower.
We'll have our chance.
You don't even know what the tower is.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have no idea. You guys bought a little tower.
Now, on foot, just so you're aware, it's about 8 days. So this cuts the travel time almost in half. Well, exactly in half, basically.
Yeah, let's take a budge. I guess. How much would it be?
About a gold a person.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
Moneybags here has us
Or
covered.
that's more than I've got
I got you covered.
by so much. I'm so broke. Oh.
Alright, well, if you guys are going to pay up and you want to leave now, then please step aboard.
Yep. I'm gonna be like staying by a roadside the whole time, and if I'm not there, like Dottie is on his shoulders.
I'm like in a slump on the ground. Just
Can one of you roll a d6 for me, and I'll tell you which barge you found your way onto. One of them is really stupid, the other ones are pretty plain. 5?
5.
This one
Come on.
is... What?
Can we just get on the stupid one?
Do you guys want to get on this stupid one?
Yes.
Not really.
Go shaking his head no. I need a vote. It can be the 5 or it can be the stupid one.
I said we go with the 5.
Okay.
He's paying.
Fair enough.
What is the stupid one?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
So this one that you guys get on, it is actually just an unnamed barge. The person running it is a pretty young looking guy. Just simply tells you that you can call him River Rick. Yeah. He has a very upbeat personality, and then the other two people, he has two polemen that like kind of like help to like keep this thing decently like in the middle of the river. One of them, like, you know, River Rick sells it as they're musically inclined, and one of them is like constantly like whistling a little tune. Besides that, they have like a table in the center. It looks like it's bolted down. Same with the chairs. They have like these little slats so the chairs can like pull in and out, but they can't go sideways. And then there's a small cabin at the front where this guy has, you know, a couple of things set up. And then for sleeping room, it's just a couple of hammocks. So nothing too nice. So it is him, 2 polemen at a time, but technically it is a crew of 4 people plus him. And then he just rotates the polemen in shifts. So with that in mind, I just need one of you guys to roll I need 2 of you to roll a d20 for daily events.
Can I roll a d20?
That's up to you, kiddos.
I did the d6.
D20.
I'll roll d20.
I got a 2.
I'm afraid it's up to you.
I got a 19.
A 19 and a 20?
Oh, I thought I was rolling.
There's 2.
Because I got a 2.
A 2. So a 2 and a 20.
A 2 and a 19.
A 2 and a 19. Jesus Christ. I'm bad at my job. Sorry, guys. I apologize.
Basic math is hard.
Please don't
Can't
fire
complain.
me.
But a 19 plus 2 is pretty good.
Alright, fantastic. So, you guys step onto this barge. How would you like to pass your time as you're drifting down this river? Pretty much
I'm
as
gonna
soon as you're
restring my
on,
bow.
restring your bow. Sounds like a good plan.
Whenever we get a chance, probably when... Just trying to decide if we wait till the oarsmen are tired, or if I just kind of pull everyone to the side. Just want a little bit of privacy. I'm gonna try and pull all of us together.
What I was gonna say is, like, River Rick is pretty much like, he understands it's a small space. So if you guys were to like go into the cabins, he leaves. He's like, as soon as you guys like get on this boat, he takes your payment, and then the captain is pretty much doing everything he can to just avoid you.
Perfect. Can we take a step over here? I'm gonna try and usher you 3 over.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
I guess.
talk to Zap. And the Lich, the one trying to achieve Lichdom, Zap looked into my mind, and they're in the Thorn Forest. They're in some castle in the Thorn Forest. It turns out they're not a wizard at all. They're some sort of druid. Sect of druid? I don't know how druids work.
A druid?
Yes.
I bet we know where that is.
I think we passed it by.
We passed it, or well, we didn't pass, but we got close to like some
Because
castle
we
thing.
heard about the castle in the Thornwood Forest. Yeah. They... I don't know if any of you speak Sylvan or know what Sylvan is, but that's what they're scrying on us. I don't know the implications of it, but I'm going to be working at figuring out how to deal with it. I think we have to go there. Maybe hit Black Hollow, gather our wits, resources. We need to deal with that Lich.
Quick side
Agreed.
question. What exactly were we supposed to be doing in Black Hollow?
Honestly,
We'll figure it out when we get
I've
there.
been Matthias didn't say anything. There was no specific job. He just said
Okay.
that's where next payment's going to be, because told him that that's where we would like to head.
You do have the note from him. If you wanted to read that again, just to jog your memory.
If Ashley will pull it out, yeah.
Is that part of the paperwork?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll fish out the note.
Did none of you write this down? Do I need to
It's
refresh?
in the book.
I was never
I'm terrible at note taking.
Yep.
same.
Alright.
We have the actual physical paperwork on our characters. Why write notes about it?
I.e. God.
Looking for it.
I love having my little bitch read me notes.
Rocks fall.
Everyone.
Oh no!
Salashar dies.
I made that joke earlier today. I'm like, yeah, my character's already rolled for when the void
Alright.
inevitably
I
swallows
want to read
only
this to
me
you
up.
guys. Pay attention. I am pleased to inflict heroics. I am pleased to hear that you arrived at Fey Pond so promptly, and thus your payment was made with a bonus to reflect the efforts you put forth. Unfortunately, I must press that you keep this pace and swiftly deal with Bulla by whatever means it takes to pacify and secure Fey Pond and the woods beyond. Things in Milscar grow sour with each passing day. Rumors have reached my ears about discontent growing within Black Hollow. I request that once you finish with Bulla, please return with great haste to Milscar or find a way to Black Hollow and gain some insights you could offer me. If my request is possible, send word and I will secure you safe passage back to Milscar from Black Hollow. Hopeful regards, and may the flame guide you. Matthias Millsworth.
Okay.
Forgot about the discontentment. Yeah, that makes sense.
But he yes.
Alright, so do a quick check around Black Hollow and then basically back to Milscar, I suppose.
Or you guys could always go rogue. Just putting
Yeah.
that out there as well.
That too.
You've only signed a contract. But the world is your oyster. He simply throws bags of money your way.
Can it be a $2 bag of donuts?
No.
Does it have to be oysters? Well, while we're on the way, I think, what do we do after Black Hollow? Do we go after the Lich? Are we going back to Milscar?
Milscar is between us and the Lich anyway, so
Yeah, and yeah, I was gonna say it's really not too far away from Milscar, so
I'm just
So
not
you, like-
certain. I don't know how much danger we're going to be in. I'm not certain if any of you are familiar with magic itself, but I don't think scrying magic is something anyone can stumble on. So we need to be prepared for whatever we're doing.
I mean, scrying is just anybody who has any access to any divination spells. You can stumble upon it.
Oh, that monocle, by the way. If you hold it up to your eye, you're able to see invisibility for 10 minutes, and you
Yep.
can do this once a day. It's kind of a
What's the
shitty
range?
monocle, but, you know.
I want to work it. I want to basically just set it behind my mask.
what's the range on it?
Whatever you're able to see.
Wow.
My elf eyes.
Yes.
What eyes? Your sockets?
Yeah. They're just very shiny. They have mirrors at the back.
Oh, Ashley,
Yeah.
we should let Hortha out before like. She
Oh, I'm gonna
forces
let her
herself
wait
out.
full 4 hours so we get as far away as possible.
That's what I was going to
Okay,
say.
all right.
Because like the further away we are, the better.
Just don't wait too long.
Oh, she can automatically shunt herself out after 4 hours. I'm sure she won't mind.
Oh, I think she might.
Well, I think she'd prefer being in there and uncomfortable for a few more moments, rather than having
with
Zap
what
try to
she's like,
blow up.
I'm fairly certain she'll be able to read our minds after and know that we had the intent of letting her out, but this was for her safety.
Cole, you will know
Kind of
since you
owl.
have attuned to her that she can read anyone's mind at will, and she constantly is aware of all surface thoughts, but she can also at any point try to dive into someone's head. But constantly at all moments is she aware of all surface thoughts.
Just goes to A-Rod.
Except for yours, Cole, because you are attuned, she constantly can see all of your deeper thoughts as well.
Lots of crickets in there.
Yeah, she just... She's like, ooh, it's roomy in here.
This is a big cavern.
Alright, well, in that case, because... So, you guys are on this barge. It continues down at a decent pace. About an hour later after you get onto this thing, Hortha does bamf back into existence and just kind of like clatters to the ground.
Oh, I would catch her.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Catch her.
Do you want me to roll for that?
Nah, you have a pretty decent thing, you know. From your pocket dimension. You were probably aware that it was happening. If you don't immediately give her the call, you need to make a wisdom save.
Oh, I planned over. If he's within range, like, it's just... go.
Back around my neck, underneath the armor.
Alright, fantastic. Besides that, it is a decent, you know, lovely little stroll down the river. It does start to get late, though, at some point, as the sun does go down. Are you guys still sticking to watches or anything like that?
No, we're just gonna let
Be
them down.
outside. I'll probably be outside and I'll just stick around and stay on watch.
Alright. Anyone else? Are you guys planning to sleep for this, or what does your downtime on this barge look like?
Trying to sober up.
Just mouth water streaming in.
Now, I will say, because also like the fact that you did drink Watcher's Brew, this is like the most uncomfortable drunk you've ever been. Usually when you like, you know, you get drunk, you know, things get a little fuzzy, you know? You get more confident. This one is like you're drunk on Adderall. Like you are just dialed in on everything. You're drunk, you have those thoughts, but you are also like just hyper focused. Like you look at something and you're like, that is like you're in. Just so you're aware.
I'm going to put a couple hours of practice in with the tail spike, so I get used to that, or at least start to. So I haven't been doing that, and then I'm going to use that scroll of sending.
Okay.
And let me, because I already wrote this down, I'm going to send it to Danny, and it's going to read: cease investigation into Anima Solus immediately. Extreme danger. Loss of life not worth potential discoveries. Evil that is there must not be released into world.
You send this message, it does not reach her, and you feel like Danny doesn't receive this, wherever she is.
Oh, shit. Guys? I tried to send Danny a sending, and it didn't get to her.
What's the implication of that?
Make an Arcana check.
Yeah, I'm good at those.
That is a net 24, 8, 24.
I'm gonna give Cole advantage.
Oh, thank you. 14.
14. As Shalasha asked this question, Shalasha, you almost answer your same question. You get to this exact same point, Cole. It means the spell failed because she's not there to receive the message. She could be on a different plane of existence, or it could be something more obvious.
Where did she go again?
Oh.
Girls, Talon went to the city.
They were going to look at some ruins.
Yeah, that's not good.
But
Did they say that they actually found where the ruins are?
I believe so, but
To jog your memories, as we did take a couple of weeks off, they mentioned a couple of rooms. Some within Thornforest, some around Millscar, some to the east, some to the west. But it sounded like they were planning to investigate ruins within Thornforest.
the
Oh shit. Do you think they accidentally ran up against the necromancer? Or druid, whatever?
The
definitely
Necro Druid, I'm calling that. Coining that? Whatever.
considering
The thing.
the druid had no qualms about killing innocents before,
Yeah, she might be dead.
especially. I guess even if the prince went with them, it wouldn't accomplish a whole lot.
He wasn't going to. They were going to go by themselves.
Yeah, but he stayed with them the entire on the way. He carried their bag.
Yes, they were
He has
heading
to- Yeah,
No.
but
Let's go together.
yes, but someone of a highborn, it's not very often they're going to do something like that out of the goodness of their heart. Like it's not the norm. Therefore, it would make some sense that he cared for them in some capacity.
Why is it out of the norm? What are you saying about elves?
I'm not saying for elves. I'm saying of nobility.
Hoity-toity.
Just said for
Since when does a king walk around carrying peasants' clothes or helping them in the fields? It's not what people do of a certain point unless they have some sort of conscience or they have a reason. So the fact that he was
like, you could say that about anybody at any level. Just depends on whether or not you're a dick.
and what are nobility typically?
I mean, I feel like that's
They
kind of
usually have
unfair.
something up their ass.
I usually
the
feel like
problem
that's
is
kind of
here.
unfair because you're looking at it through a different lens. I mean, think about it this way: if every time you wanted a slice of cake, you just said, "Hey, cake," and one like appeared in your hand, you're gonna look at things differently than a person who has to like save up for a week to buy a piece of cake.
How old are you,
That's
AC?
unfair.
Remember, she's really well off.
Exactly. I've been around for a long time. I've looked through a lot of ruins. That's what I do is I study old cultures.
And the worst person I ever met was a human of lower class.
You become jaded. That's what I'm saying is, to get back on topic, I feel like the prince would have either someone
he's
to
not a
watch the
prince.
girls. He's the son of Matthias. He's the closest thing we're going to meet to a prince.
You can make a history if you want me to explain a bit about that, or continue. Up to you.
I would like to make history.
I guess we'll really find out when we get back to Milscar.
19.
19,
24.
24. You guys would be aware I'll begin with you, Shelsha, and we'll go a bit deeper for you, Assy. They are from Sigwolf. Sigwolf is a republic, so they don't really have a king, but they do have an elected leader. The main thing that you would know, Shelsha, is that the leadership is supposed to care a lot about the people, because they have one island, Sigwolf, in the center of Sigwolf, and then you have 3 ruling families plus the elected leaders. When someone from one of the other islands is elected, their entire family has to rotate to Sigwolf. Sigwolf's old ruling family moves over to the other one, and they now need to become the most popular people on that island in order to have any chance of getting back to Sigwolf. So everything rotates to keep a community. To go a bit deeper, Assy, because you got a little bit higher, you would be aware that the Millsworns would be a newer family. That name would have came when they moved here to Millscar, and they actually founded the city here. But they are humans. They probably came from Sigwolf from some level of nobility to begin with.
Because
So,
all of
just-
that requires money.
Like,
Basically,
like
I-
he's not a prince. Like, they don't have a concept of a prince, you know?
Yeah, technically it's called a Jarl. Like a Jarl, but with an H.
Jarl. Yeah.
But with an H. Jarl.
What I'm
'Cause
getting
I'm
at is I
quirky.
feel that he would care about them in some capacity more than just, okay, well, nice working with you, fuck off. If he didn't have someone watching them or physically travel with them, I feel like he would have an idea of what happened to the girls. Maybe not the exact specifics, but it'd be worth contacting him. Guess what? We're going to the broker in Black Hollow. Chances are we can get him to look in on it, get us some information, so we can at least prepare ourselves
We
to find them.
can get him to look in on it because he's not a dick. I don't, like... I feel like they were about as close as me and Cole, not me and Avod.
Besides the point, I'm not trying to say he was a dick or he was a good person. I'm just saying his relationship to the girls seemed more than business.
I did not see that at all.
I thought he was kind of whipped by them.
There was something there.
I didn't see it.
This wasn't a gentlemanly thing. It wasn't, oh, my
I
lady,
want
let me get your-"
insight on whether or not Matthias wanted to bang the twins.
Roll insight.
I don't think they were actually twins, but that's nat 20
Nat 20.
plus 2.
As you're thinking this, you're like thinking back, like he carried the bags, he was always there. He was whipped. Like he was trying hard, but he was also being as respectful as he could to the point that he never made a move. But he was always there. For anything they wanted, this guy
He was
left
like, oh,
his like
sandwich me, mommy.
his place of power where he's being brought up. He left to follow them and hold their bags. He could have hired people. He could have, you know, and you're putting this together with Shellshine and everything he said and the fact that they own a town and they had the money for this. And it's like, he was going to extreme lengths to try to build a personal relationship, but at no point did he try to define it, and neither did they. So he just became a glorified bag boy. And looking back at it and the way he talked, you're like, he had zero confidence in anything. And all just kind of like clicks in that moment. You're like,
I don't think it
fuck?
was more than... I think he wanted it to be more than that, but I don't think it was.
but he also did draw a sword and like was willing to defend them with his life when you guys got attacked by other caps.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, regardless of everything, there had to be something more to it. So the likelihood of him having information on what happened to them or where they went, he's our best bet.
Yeah, but I
How's
don't
God-
think because he's stalking them.
I mean, I wouldn't consider it stalking as, like,
So you don't think it's stalking to pay a man to follow a woman you're interested in?
I'm not saying that he did it without their intelligence. He's like, hey, I have a contact, they'll walk you out. I don't know if it's a guard walking you to the edge of town. I don't know if it's someone
In that
who...
case, don't you think the guy that was hired is dead too?
but at least presumably, if he hired the person to walk them to the edge of town or to wherever they're going, he would know that there was no information, so that he would know something happened on the road. The point is, he is our closest point of contact to whatever happened to the girls.
I think it's
You're
easier
right.
to say he's our closest point of contact because he's the last person we know that saw them. Don't
That
have to
is
get into all of this.
That is
stalking
exactly what I'm
theory
saying.
now.
I'm not saying stalking. He just would have information that we can use
You
to
said
find
you
them.
probably had a guy watching them.
I'm not saying maliciously.
Sorry.
No, it's having a guard make sure they're taken care of.
Matthias Millsword hired a man to follow these two girls he's whipped by.
That was not the implication. You misunderstood.
Or maybe you misspoke.
No.
Like you did with Zap.
No.
Either way, we're not going to know for certain until we actually
We get to Black Hollow.
get there. Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna lean
no
over to
plan.
Amon. I'm gonna sign to you in Thieves' Cant. I love it when I get him to leave an argument with a silent shake of his head.
I'm gonna give a big old drunk smile. Two thumbs up. You're doing great.
Alright.
I'm going to crash out.
You wanna crash?
I'm going to crash.
Alright.
I'm going to sleep.
Before you fall asleep, you do hear Hotha ask you a question. Do you want to dream?
Ooh. You know the kind of things I dream about, don't you?
I could keep it away.
That might be a nice change. Been getting in my head lately.
Well, then you won't dream tonight.
Thank you.
Shalashar, you will realize that any time like Ko is talking to Hotha, his armor like just glows brightly for like a second. Anytime she speaks, it's like a strobe light. That's just like, cause he has like that
Coming out from underneath my
the-
armor.
Well, you have like that furnace like hinge on the front, right? So it's like that's like the beacon. Just, wah. Just a just a stupid detail to be aware of. Besides that, Shalashai, I believe you're staying up all night, right? Yes, no? Are you planning to sleep?
I said yes.
Cool. Assy, A-Rod?
I'm going to be sleeping, but I only meditate for 4 hours, so we are on here for a while.
Yes.
I would like to try and use my jewel crafting supplies to like dress up a simple wooden flute.
Okay.
Like just make it nice. And between that, I also want to try and work on because I have this star sapphire. I want to try and turn it into like a really nice pendant that I'm gonna be spending the next couple of days on with some silver wire.
Got it.
Did you just bejewel your flute?
More like add copper lattice work around the outside of it.
Mm-hmm.
Bejeweled.
The star sapphire is a different project. There's no gems going on the flute, just copper lattice work.
Alright.
Silver flute.
And A-Rod, you've attached that bowstring successfully. You will be aware that it is any arrow it shoots will become a +1 and be magical. You can also attune to this bowstring, and you can move it to other bows, and if you're attuned, when you draw it, you do not need to use arrows, and it will just create pure magical arrows.
Oh, sweet.
Damn.
Yeah, so if you're not attuned, it just makes anything you shoot magical. If you are attuned, you no longer need arrows. You can just draw it and whoop it.
Slingshot.
I'll spend some time attuning to it.
So,
Drunken cuddling.
just so you are aware. These magical arrows, though, just so you know, they technically do force damage,
Okay.
not piercing damage.
That's cool.
That's
as fuck.
great.
Oh yeah.
That's potent.
Yes. And with that, all of you guys will be going to bed, and that'll be where we will be ending today's session. We'll probably be picking
Leveling
it
up
up
5
here
times.
in the morning next time. But, alright, well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for hanging out. Hope you had fun today. And we'll see you next time. But until then, hope you have a good day.
What's gonna happen in the middle of the night? You're ending it here.
Yes.
Nothing happens or something attacks us that night. Like,
I guess we'll find out. Bye.